Hello, my name is Ivan Taylor, and I want to share with you today some work that a colleague of mine has done on the effect of institutional quality on economic growth. It's been recognized that poor institutional quality may be holding back the economic growth of developing countries. So we wish to address the question, how can public policy makers most effectively address institutional quality improvements to support economic growth? We built a system dynamics model with 16 institutions interconnected as shown in this diagram. And we collected data from the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. For each institution, we modeled it as a stock and we used an initial value in 1996, and progress was compared between the current value and the initial value. We found a target value for 2019 modified by the progress in other institutions. And then we can attempt to close the gap between the current value and the moving target over time. Here's an example of the stock and flow diagram for the institution economic growth. You can see that we have a stock for economic growth and progress in economic growth, which is a function of the initial economic growth and the current economic growth. We have a target economic growth and a modified target economic growth, which is modified by the progress in public investment, control of inequality, foreign direct investment, economic openness, and government expenditure. So we built the model in Vensim and converted the model to Excel and then verified that the Excel version was exactly the same as the Vensim version. Then we calibrated the model using the Excel solver optimization process. And then we can maximize economic growth under effort constraints using the solver. Here is a calibration of the Institution of Control of Corruption in Pakistan. So we looked at some projections for these countries between 2020 and 2030 if there was no policy changes. So here is our projection of economic growth in Pakistan. And you can see that some positive feedback loops will come. We project that some positive feedback loops will come into effect to create this upward trend in the economic growth in Pakistan. For Mexico, there are some trends that lead it to head downward over time. In Greece, Greece is going to have particular problems with economic growth in the future, according to our model. South Africa may have some problems with economic growth, and Iran might have some problems with economic growth. So now we can look at applying effort to change the progress targets after 2020. So we have an idea that we can look at encouraging foreign direct investment, control of income inequality and corruption in Iran, and that might lead to a new direction for the trends in economic growth as shown in the best case in this diagram. We can also optimize the economic growth by allocating effort between various institutions to try to improve their quality. As shown in this graph, with more effort, we can obtain a higher economic growth in 2030. So this model has addressed the idea that institutional quality appears to be limiting economic growth in developing countries. The system dynamics modeling can address the interactions and feedback loops creating these issues, and insights from system dynamics could support policymakers in addressing institutional quality issues and thereby enhance economic development.